Hello, my name is Liz, and I'm going to read you a story called Peter and the Wolf. It was written by a Russian composer named Sergei Prokofiev, and he also set the story to music. Early one morning, Peter opened the gate and went out into the big green meadow. There he saw a little bird, Peter's friend. When the bird saw Peter, he chirped at him, saying, "All's quiet here." Soon a duck came waddling around. She was very happy to see that Peter had not closed the gate, and so decided to have a nice swim in the deep pond in the meadow. As soon as the little bird saw the duck, he flew down and settled himself in the grass beside her. Shrugging his shoulders, he said, "What kind of bird are you if you can't fly?" To which the duck replied, "What kind of bird are you if you can't swim?" and dived into the pond. They argued and argued, the duck swimming in the pond, the little bird hopping back and forth along the bank. Suddenly, something caught Peter's eye. It was a cat crawling through the grass. The cat said to herself, "The bird is busy arguing. If I could only have him for my dinner." Stealthily, she crept toward him on her velvet paws. "Look out!" cried Peter. Quickly, the bird flew up into the tree, while the duck quacked angrily at the cat. From the middle of the pond, the cat crawled around and around the tree and thought, "Is it worth climbing up so high? By the time I get there, the bird will have flown away." All at once, Grandfather came out. He was angry because Peter had gone to the meadow. "The meadow is a dangerous place," he cried. "What if a wolf should come out of the forest? What would you do then?" Peter paid no attention to Grandfather's words. Boys like Peter are not afraid of wolves. Grandfather took Peter by the hand, led him home, and locked the gate. No sooner had Peter gone than a big gray wolf did come out of the forest. In a twinkling, the cat sprang up into the tree. The duck quacked, and her great excitement jumped out of the pond. No matter how hard the duck tried to run, she couldn't escape the wolf. He was getting nearer and nearer. He was catching up with her. There, he got her and swallowed her with a single gulp. And now, this is how things stood. The cat was sitting on one branch up in the tree. The bird was sitting on another, not too close to the cat, while the wolf walked around and around the tree, looking at them both with greedy eyes. In the meantime, Peter, without the slightest fear, stood behind the closed gate, watching all that was going on. Presently, he ran into the house, found a strong rope, hurried back, climbed up the high stone wall, and over into the tree. He said to the bird, "Fly down and circle around the wolf's head, but take care he doesn't catch you." The bird almost touched the wolf's head with his wings, while the wolf snapped furiously at him from this side and that. How that bird did worry the wolf, and oh, how the wolf tried to catch him. But the bird was far too clever for him. Meanwhile, Peter had made a lasso, and letting it down very carefully, he caught the wolf by the tail and pulled with all his might. Feeling himself caught, the wolf began to jump wildly, trying to get loose. But Peter had tied the other end of the rope to the tree, and the wolf's jumping only made the rope tighter around his tail. Just then, who should come out of the woods but the hunters, who were following the wolf's trail and shooting as they came. From his perch in the tree, Peter cried out to them, "You don't need to shoot. The bird and I have already caught him. Please help us take him to the zoo." The hunters were only too willing, and now you can just imagine the triumphant procession. Peter at the head, after him the hunters leading the wolf, and winding up the procession, Grandfather and the cat. And this is the procession with Peter in the lead, the hunters, the wolf, and Grandfather and the cat. Grandfather shook his head. This is all very well, but what if Peter hadn't caught the wolf? What then? Above them flew the little bird, merrily chirping, "Aren't we smart, Peter and I? See what we have caught." And if you had listened very carefully, you could have heard the duck quacking away inside the wolf, because in his haste, the wolf had swallowed her whole, and the duck was still alive.